Hey everybody, welcome back to the Snack. This is Marz here. I'm here with my boys Petey and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Hey, ready to rock.
Hey, today we're talking about the final trailer for Superman, which is about to drop July 11th, this a couple of weeks. So hey, let's see what it looks like. Selector, please play.
Here's, I believe, the Asian trailer. There's a Superman in action. Ready, set. Look at that.
I was sent here to serve humanity and to help the world to be a better place. That is why I do what I do. I cherish it more than anything.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth. Has somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here. No matter what you do to me, Luther, your plans won't work. I'm as human as anyone. And that's my greatest strength.
Look at that.
What is this? What the hey, dude? You destroyed the whole...
What the hey? Alright, here we go.
I gotta say, it's an enjoyable trailer. I find there's a lot of elements there. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of play. So hey, I'm gonna give it over to our resident Superman expert, Cal. Give us a little breakdown on this. Thank you.
Hey, I like what I see, but I'm not the guy who you got to please. You got to please the guys who still want cable. You got to you got to please the cynical people as well, who forget that every once in a while we got to remember what it's like to have a sense of wonder about certain things. So for me, I look at all the aspects. I'm like, yeah, this looks like this is going to play very well. I also looked at what they did here for. I think this is. I think this is a Chinese trailer, or this is going to at least play in more of like Asia at the end of the day. And that nice scene they did with the kaiju with the large tail just sweeping at the end of the day. We got a couple of more clips that weren't in the, let me say, North American trailer. Probably the only thing that I kind of giggle at is when he's like, "I'm as human as anybody." I'm like, "No, you're not. That you've been trying to do this since '86. No, you're not." Okay, but hey, you know, if that's what people need, and so they can feel more comfortable with the character that he's just as human as anybody else, no problem. But the dynamism, the dynamism is there, and a lot of the apprehensions that I had about the film have been quelled with the successive trailers. I'm a long way from that very first image of Dave and Coruscant putting on the outfit, putting on the boot. I was just totally taken out by that, totally depressed. But as of right now, I'm very, very optimistic for the film.
That is great news. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you've come around. Um, Petey, what is your take on it?
I mean, this definitely is a fun trailer. I mean, there's some questions. The other thing, well, it's funny because there's a bit in the there's a bit from the something that they would do in the Silver Age, and they would do well when Byrne was doing it, playing up, Superman being able to hold up buildings without them falling on top of each other, same with planes and whatnot. And they quickly got rid of that. It's funny to see them go back to that in this because it's one of those bits that was always fun. That things don't topple over themselves when Superman holds it up. So it's fun to see it because it's like, oh God, oh no, you see him holding it, and I don't know how it plays out far in the movie, but there's other things here and lifting up the the monster, but I'm totally not with the Mr. Terrific and Lois thing. Let's have Lois do some things. But it's interesting that they're trying to go with this fisheye thing when people are flying in there. So I want to see how that plays. It looked really good when you see Superman going in a circle and you see the tail going in the same sort of angle. So those things cut really well as far as a good look to it. I just wondering how this is going to work for a full thing because the fisheye is kind of someone looking at something for effect with the speed flying. Maybe I'm just want to see how far they go with it. But otherwise, this one looks like it's a fun trailer. I just got some questions, and Superman's a little more regular with the what the hey. But anyway, this one was a fun trailer.
Well,
It doesn't have any other stuff with even though it is he's talking to someone, they don't have the interview in here, so it looks like fun in this trailer.
I think we saw the. I think we saw
They're
the.
doing the
We
right
saw,
thing, and they're giving you for this international trailer. They're giving you all the stuff you want to see. This is what you're supposed to see in the trailer.
I think they gave us the tail end of the interview. With that little bit of segment when he's there. I was sent here to serve, and I'm trying to make the world a better place. I think that's going to be the tail end of the interview.
Yeah, but it's like you don't. The thing is that they're like showing you all this stuff, not telling you this is a part of this long, boring debate between the two of them. They're just like nobody wants to see. The audience doesn't want to see that crap.
They do in America.
Action, action, action! He's holding up building. They're sitting there.
What?
The first American chick was like, "What is this?" They're sitting around talking in a living room. Can we see some stuff? Can we see? And they're like, "All right, we'll recut it. We'll cut
Well,
it."
that's the American audience. The American audience is like, hey, this. Even though this is for kids, we got to have like something pseudo adultish about this, I suppose. So we'll have this at the end of the day. You don't really need it. Do we really need an interview where Superman has to explain why he does what he does? Why he swoops into another country and stops people from dying? Does he really need to justify keeping people from dying? Yeah, for this particular audience, because again, we got to take something that's primarily made for kids and then justify it for adult people at the end of the day. So we get 10 minutes of that. The Eastern audience, however, seems to be like, yeah, we understand that this, we understand that this is not real, and we should just be having a good time.
What if in the Asian audience is looking at this and they do a bad cut version where you get to the talking scenes and
Mhm.
just abruptly to him flying out. So it's like they don't even have the scene where he's putting on the boots to take on the Sun Eater or whatever it is.
I could see that happening.
Hard cut to just some more action. It's like they're sitting with the thing of 2 hours. It's like we can get out. If I would get out 45 minutes, but I'll just take out a half to get all this boring stuff out. And just
Why it is with the Western audience. Western audiences seem to need to justify the obvious. I don't know why that is. Like, what's his rationale? What does it mean to be a hero? And the Eastern audience is kind of like, what? What do you mean? No. We got the answers to that like 2,000-3,000 years ago. Let's just get to the show. So, but it's a different. It is a different mindset. It is a different mindset because again, even in 2025, superheroes, comic books are still looked at as things for kids. It's not looked at that when you get to, when you get to, Korea, Japan, even Europe for that matter. Comic books are looked at as a legitimate art form. Here, it's like this continuous need to justify why an adult should be watching this. So it's nice that. If anything else, is great to see with these two trailers. Like, hey, look at one we got and look at the one that they got. Who do you think wants to have fun more?
yeah, I think, and it doesn't play up the outside of what the hate. That's the only thing we say. Well, this is kind of a different Superman, even despite the line of him saying, "No, I'm as human as anything." It's just it's just saying we're telling you what this is, and not where his other one was kind of like, I'm questioning what this is. What he just saved some people. Well, yeah, there's some idiots that didn't like him and they threw a can at him. Actually, I would have been like, get that can out of there. You didn't even know no can. I don't care what the shot is. As an actor, it's like I'm not shooting it. But anyway, but yeah, this is more what you want to do, even if it's it turns out to be something that, I'm in there and I'm like, they shouldn't have done X, Y, Z. They're showing us the stuff you want to see, and I think that's what the Man of Steel tried to do. They showed us a whole bunch of stuff that we want to see. As far as that, besides, I think they had the I shouldn't have saved them, and he said, that was the thing everyone else was up in arms with, but there was a lot of action besides that in there. So they're like, yeah, I want to go see it. I want to see what this Superman. This is what you lead with. You lead with this. Maybe you do one after that with some of the talking, but I wouldn't have done it at all. Just stick with the action. Whatever scenes I know they were working on the graphics and all that stuff, but you got this point, you got the graphics, and not showing if your big payoff is the dog acting up. I would show this. This works as a crypto scene, and they're pushing them out. But my crypto is one who would be helping and has super intelligence. So he's like, I'm not for the crypto that's the unbehaved animal, like unbehaved dog, like James Gunn.
Well, he does help in the movie.
Well, he's in the way. He had to blow him. He had to use his breath to get it. Like, all right, so get out of here. You're no help right now. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It looks as though it's going to be fun. So, I mean, with crypto, that's going to definitely be something that sells for kids, right? So, I guess they're doing the same thing as Marvel, right? So,
it's going to be for kids. It's going to be for cool adults. It'll be for dog lovers. It'll be for everybody.
What is the Superman bucket going to be? How are they going to make their money like Marvel? They need to have a bucket
with crypto. With crypto.
Crypto is going to be a bucket for crypto.
Yeah, it's going to be like a dog. It'll be like a dog bowl. It'll be like a dog
bowl for popcorn, and they're gonna kids gonna put it on the floor.
Yep, and they're gonna lap it up.
Here's your soda.
Well, I mean, the F1 movie, they sold out of the F1 helmet popcorn bucket, and they sold that on I think they said Thursday night here in the city. You're like, what? It just started,
You're eating popcorn out of the bucket, then you're supposed to clean it up and put it on your head or something. Is that what's going on?
I think it's just a decoration. You just put it on the mantle.
No, you get the popcorn. What you try to do is get the popcorn bucket without any popcorn in it. Say, no, just give me the bucket. Then you put that away. You wait for the movie to pass like about 6 months. Then you take it to the secondary market and you make a killing. That's what you're supposed to do.
I knew he's gonna ruin it with some sort of resale.
Secondary market. I did not think of that. Interesting.
Lord.
See, that's the adult part of the whole thing for me. It's like with the kids, it's like, oh yeah, I enjoy this type of stuff, but I always keep my eyes on how can I make some money. There's always gonna be that person who thought it was stupid, and then later on, hey, I always wish I had gotten one of those buckets. Oh, wait a minute, here's a bucket. How much? It's in mint condition. What's $50? I'll take the bucket. Thank you very much.
So let's hold on here. So the question here now is, who's going to see this movie? Cal, are you going to see this movie, or are you on the fence?
I think we already know that I'm going to see this movie.
Petey, are you going to see this movie?
Well, the one here I would like to see. I would like to see this one. I don't want to see.
Lord.
Well, I have my tickets already, so I'm down to see.
You have your tickets?
I have my tickets.
Wow.
What about you, Cal, Mr. Superman?
I got my ticket.
Say again. You broke up.
So you didn't get.
I got my ticket with the Fandango Superman gift box. You got you got a ticket for the movie. You got a baseball cap. You got a comic book and some other stuff that came inside the box. So I got it that way.
Okay, that's good. Are any of you guys seeing it in like 4DX?
I don't even know what that is.
That's like when the chairs move.
Well, no, I'm not wasting my money on that nonsense.
Like that's fantastic. I love that.
Still going to there.
What are they gonna
be in a fisheye?
Let me guess. There's gonna be there'll be a scene where Crypto like uses the bathroom and they're gonna squirt water on my leg. No, thank you. I'll just stick with IMAX.
Well, that's what you're into. Hey, God dog it.
That's what you're into, Mr. Forex.
Not at all. Not at all. It's just we feel the air washing twice, flying.
Sure, that's air.
The air.
All right. I you know what? I'm gonna give it up. You're a bigger kid than me because I'm not doing that.
Okay. All right. Hey, so let's wrap it up. If you like what you hear, comment, subscribe, spin the rack. Out.
We are out.
Okay, we got one quick topic before we go.